Hi, today I will show you how to do it correctly. Get started chum salmon this video for beginners. What we're trying to do. Change the fuel on which the body switches its sugar burning. There is one hormone for burning fat, which is called insulin is the key. He determines what to burn, fat or sugar. In order to burn fat, insulin must be. It is not enough if it rises, the body will be. Burn sugar, everything is simple, carry carbohydrates. And eat less often, this does not equal advice. Reduce calories if you eat fewer calories. You'll lower it, but that's not the goal. You can eat larger portions, the main thing is not so often. Why eat less often is a good idea, everyone. When you eat, insulin is activated. Go carbohydrates activated insulin A. We need to reduce it by a combination of these two principles very, very effectively. And so what will you eat first? Need to reduce carbohydrates too. At least they include sugar, and I say about agave nectar, honey, brown sugar, white sugar, date sugar, any sugar. In various recipes, it can be replaced on the so-called sugar alcohols, and I will leave a link to an example of such recipes. Download for free. In general, you can use alternative sources. Sweets, this means that when buying food, it is necessary to learn to read the composition so that there was as little sugar as possible. Avoid fruits, berries can be eaten, but in small quantities and only 3 varieties of raspberries, strawberries and blueberries. Can't eat fruits, especially cereal, apples like wheat flour, bread, pasta, oatmeal too. We avoid them, but you know that you can also replace people using almond flour to do all sorts of things, starting from pizza to bread. There is a lot recipes in which flour can be substituted. Avoid starches like potatoes, but her can always be substituted for cauliflower, the consistency of which is very similar to starch, not identical, but very similar. You can make mashed potatoes from it, like from potatoes. It can even be used to make a base for pizza. Is quite good when I say not eat carbohydrates. There is one exception. Vegetables. Vegetables should be eaten a lot, at least 7 glasses a day or even more. Can be greens or other types of vegetables. Peppers, cabbage, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, and on this, at the initial stage, you can even eat carrots, tomatoes and beets. Don't worry about it. You can also talk about vegetables if you eat first. It will be easier to eat them in 7 glasses than if you eat them after fat and proteins. After all, fats and proteins are quite fast for you satiate, so I always eat vegetables in. First of all, you can eat them together with main course, but to have them, I eat them enough in the first place, not so many people eat enough vegetables. By the way, vegetables supply us with 2 things. They supply food to bacteria, which then help with blood sugar and give us energy, and also do not give us nutritional substances like potassium, magnesium, and even vitamin C. What is our goal? We are trying to observe some correct, that is, with health benefits. Further, a moderate amount of protein is not a huge amount like in the Atkins diet. And moderate it may depend on your metabolism. Complexions 85-220 grams of protein. Let's say you are 18 years old and you will need to train a lot more protein. Instead of measuring protein on the scales, just eat protein. A product the size of your palm can. A little more or a little less on this. We will not complicate this stage. What protein should you eat? Meat and fish, chicken, seafood, eggs, cheese, if only you don't have allergies or serious problems with the intestines. Nuts or nut butters. When you buy peanuts or any other nut paste, read the composition and make sure that there is no added sugar added. You don't need sugar. Sometimes it happens that you bought cold cuts and there is dextrose or added sugar, especially in bacon. In general, sugar should not be combined with protein as to the order in which it is necessary. Eat protein, then first you need to eat vegetables and greens, and then protein. The main thing is not to eat lean protein or protein with a low fat content. Try to There is protein in which there is fat. Why? Because it will help with the level. Insulin. If there is protein that is low in fat, or it is not at all, for example, in powder, protein powder, then you significantly increase insulin compared to fat, which is in meat or in fatty fish, or in silver which has more fat it. A very important point about protein, let's go. Later in this diet, we eat more fat. When I say more fat mostly I mean the calorie content in fat contains 2 times more calories than in protein and carbohydrates in terms of calories in. The diet on this diet includes more fat. In order not to confuse you, let's focus on. But understand that when you eat protein, you already eat a lot of fat along with it. Because protein products always. There is fat, but you can add it to the diet. Extra fat, such as avocados, or you can use ghee for cooking or season with butter. Oil vegetables, which, by the way, is not a bad idea because in vegetables contains fat-soluble, useful components, even antioxidants. These are called phytonutrients. Can be. Add oil to greens, whether it's olive or butter for the dressing will help absorb nutrients from food, so it's good to combine olives or their oil is also very useful. Coconut oil, also pretty good, and some of these products also contain fat. For example, nuts are half fat, half protein, and some carbohydrates. Cheese. This is fat, and egg white, this is fat and protein in. Most of these foods have fat too. In general, fat protein go together. It is many who eat nuts or cheese after taking the main meal so that there is a feeling satiety. That's why I say what you need. There is fat in the third place, but of course it can be included in another product. There is fat. And to avoid this, soy, corn, rapeseed, cottonseed, and even sunflower and safflower oil are not worth it. Get carried away with these oils by the first 3 types. Gamma oils, they have chemicals in them. Cause inflammation, even though it is fats. Such fats should not be consumed. These oils can be seen in gas stations for salads and many other products, including mayonnaise. So start reading composition and find fault with every little thing in products that you buy. So we talked about what to eat. Now we need to talk about how much is needed. You need to eat less often along with color, and we will observe intermittent fasting to lower insulin to normal level. Here is the main rule: do not eat if not hungry. I will clarify what it means to be hungry. Sometimes there may be a slight hunger, but you still have the strength you feel. It's normal to be in a good mood in such moments. Endure hunger should also be. Distinguish hunger from the habit of eating in people. There is a habit of eating all the time. When there is no hunger, it seems to people that they are not as full as we would like, but we don't have to be full of food all the time. Should only eat when you feel hungry. Hunger is when you really want to eat, when you feel weakness, when you shake slightly, and when irritability appears. Here, this is hunger. They are light, temporary hunger. Second, ideally, you need to skip breakfast. This can be done gradually, transferring breakfast later and later, or immediately to abandon it by simply removing this one meal. Or you can drink coffee with a tablespoon of butter and or MCT oil. It will help great ketone production, which are very beneficial for the brain, and you will get satiety in transition to ketosis, in where you burn fat, and ketone is a byproduct of fat burning. If taking MCT oil will immediately give ketones and make the transition more easy, especially for cognitive functions. Therefore, it is a good idea if you have a drink this coffee with 2 fats, then you will easier to skip breakfast. Is also worth it. Note that somewhere around 8 a.m. there is a hormonal shift and may rise cortisol. Because of this, you may have a temporary feeling arises, which is not bad. I would like to eat something. This is because of cortisol due to hormonal shift. It can increase the appetite. Not pay attention to this and endure it. That is, we skip breakfast. And the third, the point is very important: no snacks in during the day. A snack, even if low calorie, will inflame your hunger and stimulate you. Hunger, especially if it's not food, but a snack. Therefore, no snacks. This is very important if you want to have a snack. It means that you did not eat enough fat in last meal and the next meal. Food, add fats to easily. Hold out until the next meal. It is very important to add fat too. Stay longer in between. Meals can do many other things. But you can drink water, tea, or coffee, anything without sugar. Taking vitamins is not a problem in general. The topic is extensive, but now we are talking about the most. Let's say the first meal in noon you have eaten until you worry. As for calories, our goal is not to reduce calories, but just eat for the first time in day. Make sure you did everything like I did. In the second time to eat at 6. In the evening, it gives you a time window in the 6 hours for eating and 18 hours fasting. If without snacks it is a lot, one thing will be of great benefit to you if follow this method. This is how you need to start chum salmon correctly. I invite you to my course Healthy Chum Salmon. It is for those who want to lose weight so that the weight did not return again. On the course I will tell you what prevents you from burning fat and what specifically you need to do to fix this is without harm to health. Hundreds of people have already taken this course and have achieved very consistent results. Join us.